guys. Welcome to Reddit Lane. And make it make sense.
What's up? Like I told you guys, we're gonna be reading the rest of this book. Reddit Lane is my real life sister's channel. Y'all seen them put on some makeup for y'all.
Yeah, I did. Well, actually, I put on makeup because I went to go vote today, so it wasn't just for nothing. I had makeup on today.
Okay, we need to go vote, y'all.
Yeah, so that was a good reason.
So the book. We stopped off on chapter 9. It's not a lot, but what I feel is most interesting is what we're gonna do right after we finish reading this pamphlet. And it's talk about the man who released that book to the white guy who changed his name to Jamal, which I'll never get over.
That is crazy.
We stopped off. Okay. So, lies you tell. At this point, the relationship between Sean and I had been off and on again for quite a while, and we were off at this point. He had put his hands on me again, this time for something that didn't even happen. It was all in his head. When the phone rang, I picked it up anyway. Hi, Sean. He sounded trepidatious as he said, "We've been broken up for a while this time." Yeah, he continued. I don't want anyone to know about my... He paused to search for the right word. Proclivities. Do you feel Puffy's even cerebral to know what proclivities are?
I mean, he said it as if that was the exact word used.
Okay. I don't think he knew. He paused to search for the right word. Proclivities, I replied. So you don't want people to know about you being gay. Sean exploded. See, that's why I fucking lose control on you. So I just plainly stated, goodbye, Sean. Wait, he screamed. What, Sean? I'm sorry, okay? You're always effing sorry. He took a deep breath. I have to do something to cover myself. I sighed. Do whatever you effing want, Sean. When you see this in the news, it's not real. This made me calm down a moment. What could he be talking about? He continued, I'm only doing it for the press. Doing what, Sean? After a long pause, he continued, she knows what this is. She's just pretending to cover me. Sean, what the hell are you talking about? Another pause. Publicly, I'm going to be dating someone else. A video girl. I laughed. Why would you do that? I have to cover myself. I was getting mad. I was actually angry at myself more than at him. Why was I getting jealous? I was sitting there actually comparing myself to video vixens in my mind. They are thick, but look at my body. Did he prefer them light-skinned, big-butt girls from videos? I calmed myself. No, I was like, he likes men. He likes men anyway. Why the hell are you telling me? He sighed. I wanted you to find out from me first. Like I give a shit. He came at me with his favorite line. You know I love you. It was getting old. I couldn't even think to myself. Here we go. Love is a big, strong word. I'm tired of him throwing it around and using it when it fits his needs. He's using it while he's sitting here telling me about dating someone else. I replied, you don't hit people you love, Sean. Love doesn't hurt. He sucked his teeth as he responded, come on, are you serious? That shit's for children. We aren't effing in high school. Sometimes things happen. That doesn't mean I don't love you. I wouldn't hit you if I didn't. Wait, that sounded wrong. You said exactly what you meant. Now, me and Reddit both watched this guy talk about how he was the one who transposed it from the thumb drive to the book.
Right.
Are you believing this?
It reads like a novel. Like it just reads like a novel to me. Like something somebody sat down and wrote, and it just doesn't sound like the people that it's supposed to be coming from.
Okay.
But that's my opinion.
Do I think that there's some flash drives? Yes. But the question I always consistently asked is who all is getting paid for this? And it wasn't until this older black man said, I did this for money, that, the Jamal guy, or whatever his name is, really wasn't giving us too much to go by. Miss Me with the Bull partner said, dude said he didn't change any words. I believe it's Kim's word. Kenya says he said he didn't change anything. He just printed it, allegedly.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is this your first super chat?
Yeah, it is. How do I show it? Be blessed. Thank you, Be Blessed. It's my first super chat. Supporting Reddit memes and our straight shooters family. Smash the like button, everybody. Yay!
So much. Be blessed. I appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Um. So there was an awkward silence. The fact that I was still on the phone and waiting for him to speak meant he had the power. He was more cautious as he continued. He didn't want to lose that power. Kim, no one that I don't care about can bring that kind of emotion out of me. I wanted to say, is that how you talk to dudes after using butt plugs?
Wow. Is that what you wanted to say?
I just feel like, could it be Kim's words? Maybe. But if he was abusive towards her, would she, you know, feel safe talking to him like this?
Well, that specific line she did say she wanted to say.
Is that how you talk to dudes after using butt plugs? But there is a line I dare not cross. Instead, I said, you say that while you're dating some other bitch. That's just for the public. I was done. It could be heard in my voice as I said, whatever, Sean. Do what you need to do. Leave me alone. I'm never giving up on us, he cried. I responded to that emotional control attempt with little resolve I could muster. I didn't even believe the words that came tumbling out of my mouth. Sean, there is no us anymore. Goodbye. Tell Quincy I miss him, he threw out. His emotional manipulation was really driving me crazy. This time I said it with much more conviction. Goodbye, Sean. I hung up. Manipulative bastard. So one thing I will say when as I'm reading this is because there is like dialogue, it would have made more sense to have her line. So Kim said, then Diddy said. Kim said, then Diddy said, because these are just paragraphs.
Right.
And there's nothing to indicate who's saying what.
Does it make it hard to read? I mean, I'm following you as you're reading it, but
Yeah, like space it. Put a Diddy quote, a Kim quote. You got another super chat.
let me see.
If you go to starred, it'll automatically take you to it.
Oh, here it is. Felicia D. Thank you. Here's your second. Thank you. Thank you so much, Felicia D.
So so Reddit just got monetized. That's a big deal.
I know. I'm excited. I didn't know how this worked, and I was trying to set it up in the background. There's like this little thing where it says set up your memberships and then set up your super chat. And so there was like different options on there. I was like, oh Lord, what do I select? But then I didn't want to call you. So I said, okay, I'll just try anything. Apparently it worked.
Chapter 11, Mo Problems. For a while, I was actually happy to see Sean gone. I was getting older and the sex parties were out of control. It was getting time for me to slow down. Quincy was getting older. I knew that if I kept going, the rumors circulating were going to eventually find a way back to him. What will he think of me? Chris is about to take his trip to California. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen out there, but I felt like Tiana Wallace was about to be an orphan. I knew I didn't want any ties to that. As I was sitting there contemplating all of this in my robe, sipping my wine on this Friday evening, my doorbell rings. I was not expecting company. I opened the door and found Sean. My heart skipped a beat. I was shocked but recovered quickly. I forced a smile and told him with a slightly slurred speech, hey, come on in. Shit, I'm way more intoxicated than I thought. Sean entered looking around suspiciously, then turned to me and smiled, saying, you haven't been returning my calls. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I'm fine. He obviously he was not here out of it. He was not here out of concern. He was checking to see who was here. Sean was controlling like that. Yes, even though we were not together and he was dating someone else. He started to make his way to the living room. I attempted to put a quick end to the visit, but it came out a little more directly than I intended. So since you can see I'm fine, you can let me go to bed now. Part of me wanted him to stay. As he entered the living room, I was forced to follow Sean was very direct with his next inquiry. If someone else waiting for you? No, but Sean, we're not together. You're dating someone else. I can F whoever I choose. With this, Sean became irate. He fiercely slammed me to the ground. Then he pulled out a 22. and sat it on the end table. He turned to me calmly. I was scared. My voice quivered as I pled to him. Sean, please stop. Quincy's here. How did we get here? How did we get to the point that he was in my living room threatening me with a gun? He knelt on one knee and got right into my face saying, "You're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you." He stood up, composing himself. I was terrified as I whimpered, "Sean, that's not love." Sean picked up his gun and cocked it. He looked at me almost thoughtfully and asked, "Have you ever heard, if I can't have you, no one can?" "Sean, please don't. Please, Quincy will hear." Sean smiled and put the gun away, saying, "Oh, this is just for dramatic effect. I would never shoot you. If I was going to kill you, no one will trace it to me."
That's telling.
You know how many people I've had to take care of over the years? It would be quiet, something in your food or drink, something that will never get back to me. I wouldn't shoot you. Do you understand? I could only nod, tears flowing down my cheeks. He looked at me thoughtfully as he reached down to help me up. I could do nothing but agree. He's a terrifying monster. Now he wanted to smooth it over, and I had to go along with it. What else could I do? "Listen, baby, I don't ever want to hurt you. You know I really love you, or I would have moved on. Thinking about living my life without you is just too hard. If someone ever tried to hurt you, I would kill them." My back hurt from where I hit it on the table when he shoved me. So it's kind of, I'm never going to hurt you, but I'm in pain because you just hurt me. Okay. All I could do is he helped me up, was nod that I understood through streaming tears, which he wiped. He looked toward Quincy's room. "Let me say goodnight." "No, Sean, please." Thinking quickly, he has to get up in the morning. Sean looked at me with an unreadable look. He was studying me. "Okay, I'm going to go." Nervously, I walked him to the front door. "This is over. Thank God." He kissed me. I didn't want him touching me, but I couldn't refuse. "Kiss Quincy for me." I tried to keep my composure as I replied, "Sure, Sean." He opened the door to leave. The bodyguard that was waiting outside escorted him to the car. This was far worse than I realized. Why would he need a bodyguard at my front door? How was he anticipating this to go? After I shut the door, I had a drink. For the nightmare was over. I sipped on my wine and cried. The next few days, he sent dozens of flowers. He brought Quincy expensive toys. He didn't want me. He wanted to keep me his secret. I'm trapped. He has the authorities under his thumb. I can't go to them. This is like a gangster movie. How high up does his power go? How far is his reach? The FBI, the CIA? Who is not corrupted or won't get silenced by their upper chain of command? Can anyone help me and my child? He found his way back to my bed. I had no choice. You got some more super chats.
I do. I was getting to them. I was getting distracted by my super chats while you were reading. Congrats on monetization for Make It Make Sense. Thank you very much. Lex1192. I didn't want to be left out of the celebration. Congrats on monetization. Thank you very much. Empress SQ gave me $50. That is a huge, what do you call it, super chat?
That's a huge super chat.
Yes, it's your mem sister. I have to be fair. By the way, how many subscribers do you need to become a member to your channel? You know, I haven't set up the memberships. I have to get some help on that. So there's a set up memberships offers, and I need you to show me which one I need to set it up, because it's like once you've started, it says you can't go back and delete it. So I had to get your input on that one.
Yeah, we'll talk afterwards about the memberships.
Yeah.
Thank you, Empress. That is definitely very generous. I don't remember when I got my first, but it was not in my first day of monetization that I got a $50 super chat.
I know, excited.
Can tell you that much. That did not happen. So that was very nice.
More. Life with Leah's Soul Sister, $4.99. Thank you very much.
No, that's a super sticker. So the difference is the super chats, they'll write in it, and a super sticker is just a nice way of saying they support your channel. But she did say congratulations, Reddit Lane. Super sticker. Thank you. Can you pull up this thing really quick? The video.
Hold on, because it now has remove on it. So wait, how do I add it? I think I changed the.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about this a little bit. The interviewer is asking the man who released the tapes, what is he going to do when the feds come and knocking?
This guy, He didn't. That was it. As far
Right.
as I mean, I know he had a copy of the original, your original, the memoir. But so Todd has been, Todd has said that. But I'm pretty sure that if the FBI reaches out to him, he's going to immediately say, "Hey, listen, the guy's name is Courtney Burgess. Here's who he is." So I'm thinking that they're probably going to come. I think the problem is that, well, one, you've looked at the videos, not good. I know you're saying, hey, I didn't know that this was on there. The other thing is that, to me, I would contact the authorities because you're essentially in possession of one, child, two, evidence. And this is evidence in the case. And I know you're saying it's snitching, but this guy is done. He's going down. And you've got, you've got discs that prove that he is a predator and he's having with underage, with children. It's child. So that's a definite nail in his coffin. I mean, I'm kind of assuming they probably already have tapes like that.
Right. And they got the people who did it still alive. They need to march themselves down there and say, because then it's not snitching. It's about they was kids.
He's not even understanding Reddit. The interviewer is gently trying to tell him that you are in possession of child videotapes, and he is telling the man, "I'm not a snitch."
Right. This whole thing was crazy. And it was kind of hard for me to even understand because it was hard to follow. Like when he was talking to the guy who was interviewing him, it was like, he kept telling him, well, I don't understand. You're going to have to explain this to me. I don't understand what you're saying, but I didn't understand what he was saying. So I was like, oh.
And this was not for Kim or her children. Let's play devil's advocate and say that this man is telling the truth and these are Kim's tapes and he just transposed them. I don't think he could write that well, to be honest with you. And why wouldn't the proceeds go to the children? Like the daughters? Why would you, and this white man who calls himself Jamal, as if that's not pandering to the Black community, this was just to line your own pockets.
Right.
I don't know. Like I can see your face. It's not even so dark that I couldn't make out who you are.
Was he trying to hide?
Yeah, I don't know.
He wasn't, because they gave his Instagram like at the end, right? So
why would you need to be in a dark space? And whoever,
it's just bad lighting. He reminds me of a person that just really didn't know how to like set his stuff up. Like he's not a person that's good with being online. Like looking at his Instagram and like the pictures that he has, So I think that's just his setup.
Miss Me With That Bull said, Mims, they told Chris Todd to use that name. Chris Todd is he's not new to the game. I'm pretty sure that somebody in a marketing meeting did tell him, use a Black name, and he did it. So I don't give him credit for that. I'm sorry. I watched Chris Todd's, I saw 2 of the interviews that he did. And for me personally, I don't find him to be credible in this. That's just my opinion. You guys might, I just don't.
So Chris Todd is the guy.
Jamal.
Is Jamal. Okay. I was like,
Jamal.
I know who Jamal is.
Yeah.
They are victims. They're not anticipators. You understand? Usher not going to be Usher tomorrow. He go down there and say what happened. He going to be a bigger Usher because he going to stop what was going on. Like me, I want him stopped in his tracks if he was something he had to do with Tupac killing. Because it ain't just from Tupac, it's Gaddafi. You understand? That was his god brother got killed. Then I got shot in East Orange. You understand? 6 times at East Orange on Mon Avenue.
You got shot?
Yes. Yeah. All of my arm in my hand.
Mm.
So it's bigger than that. It ain't.
How did that happen?
Behind that.
Behind what?
Behind the Tupac and the Biggie situation.
Okay.
You understand? Because I was up in the label.
Did you hear that? Okay.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm really trying, but you know, I think what turned me off was the whole being in possession of stuff involving kids and not turning it over. Like that to me is really, I can't get with that. If somebody were to send me anything involving kids and Diddy, the first thing I'm going to is to the feds.
Well, of course.
Like you deal with it, but the profit off of this alleged memoir and just be so callous about it, I don't know.
Next to Lil Kim, next to Biggie, Mark Pitts, and all of them coming to the label, and then they didn't know that I was, you know, affiliated with Tupac until we did the song "Unusual Suspects." Mike Geronimo, DMX.
But are you saying that? So I kind of missed that first part, which was that they paid you to do the Hail Mary.
Yes.
Okay. Did they pay you for the song or paid you to produce it?
They paid me for the. It wasn't a song at first. It was just the track. And then they had an engineer, some guy that hit them hard with them or whatever. But a lot of people from Death Row was there. You understand? I just knew Pop and Suge from. I only know Suge from seeing them. You understand? Everybody knows Suge.
My question there, Reddit, would be, why did they want to have you specifically taken out? There's a lot of people that work for the record label. Why would they want you taken out? What did you do, say no more than the next person? Right? Like,
Well, his whole story is just weird to me. It's like, you know, in trying to make himself seem more credible in like all the name dropping that he's doing, it's just like kind of sideways name dropping. Like, you know, oh, I worked on this. It's almost like he sidesteps the questions, you know?
I don't know what to make of. I'm not playing it. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, like in his answers, it feels like he sidesteps the questions. Like he just kind of goes around when he's asking specific things, like, you know, the song Hail Mary and what he had to do with it.
It's weird all around to me.
Yeah.
Porter had a son with I'll Be Sure. She was married to him prior to being married.
The thing of adoption, you want a son, go adopt a son. But looking at it from your eyes, no, but at the time, it started from when he could have been 16 because he was real. He ain't have all the
More. She's written a bunch of them. There are multiple flash drives. Prior to her death, she gave it to some friends.
Mm-hmm.
One of those friends, shortly after, was it like the day after, approached you?
I got it like 3 months before the funeral. And then I sat on it for the other 3 months in a year.
Do you want to say who the friend is?
Well, I can't say the friend is. Everybody should know. Well, when the friend did, she called me and said, "What you do with the stuff?" I said, "I did do something." I said, "I released the book." I said, "I got them all pressed up. I just didn't put it out."
What was on the flash drives? Did you look at the flash drives?
I looked at some of them, but I couldn't look because
Jazz says, I hear him talking, but some things I just don't understand. Jazz said that he was the reason behind the diss song, and that's why he got shot.
Who is Jazz?
Jazz is one of your people in your chat.
Oh, I was like,
Jazz said he made the song for Pac, which was a diss song.
got it.
Thank you, because I was scratching my head listening to him.
Do you know who, like, what has he done? Do you know who he is? Do you know who he is in the industry?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I have so much stuff on my brain from the other stuff. Once I saw this, I was like, I just sent it to you and I tried to digest as much of it as possible.
Yeah.
I probably should have gone and listened to it a second time, but I was just so turned off with the child stuff and you thinking that would be snitching. I was done, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So somebody says he is legit in the industry.
Okay.
Kenya Watts. Says he's legit in the industry. And that's what I was trying to look him up a little bit. You know, I kind of looked at his Instagram and I looked him up a little bit, but I couldn't find much on him other than what was on his Instagram and like these interviews. So I couldn't really tell if it was legit or not.
You guys can put his name in the chat if you have it. I will say this much: if you were in that last live, people were putting names in chats, and I was just like, that don't have anything to do with me.
Wow.
Names are being thrown around in that chat, in my chat. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm usually in your chat. Your chat is pretty wild. Oh, I have some more super chats.
Okay.
I don't know where I left off.
That's a good problem to have. You left off with Life with Leah.
Life with Leah. Okay, so next is KB of the V. Congrats. Thank you very much.
What does VHE stand for, KB? Is that like a city for a state, Virginia? I haven't heard of VHE. Let us know.
Yeah. Next is Ray. Congrats, Reddit. We all Messi fans. Have you either of you looked into Allie Carter? Love y'all. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, I haven't looked into Allie Carter. Do you know who Allie Carter is?
Allie Carter is a woman who I believe she has been saying for a while she was underage at a Diddy party.
Oh, wait, I have seen it. I'm lying. I have seen that.
A lot, right?
Yep, I have seen it on TikTok.
Y'all, okay, so in terms of me, I mean, Reddit is just getting into the game. But in terms of me, there's so much information. Like the funny thing about it was I had an email of somebody saying you need to be pulling threads of Lori, and I'm like, I'm sitting on Lori text messages. I just haven't like put them out. Like there's so many different threads to pull. So by the time I was pulling DJ Khaled, that was like an all day thing. Like, okay, well, how are you tied here? And let me see how that would make sense. And is this direct? Is this a leap? It's so much. It's not that I don't see these things. I just try to like source them out. But now that Reddit's on the case, I'm just going to be putting her on some of this shit for her channel.
I know, because I go through it and then I go down these rabbit holes and I just love it. Hold on.
That makes one of us.
Carmen Lowry says, do you think he really has evidence?
Me, I could see him having some flash drives, to be honest with you. How he chose to present is a little disconcerting to me, but I could see maybe some of the stuff he said truthful. I could see maybe if he did have it, he just embellished some things.
Or he has some help with the embellishment.
Yeah, I'm not completely saying that this is 100% untrue. Even if I don't understand it, I don't understand a lot about the Diddy stuff.
Yeah.
So it could be.
I said, same here. It's a whole lot. And every day I learn something new.
That you didn't want to know.
Right.
Diddy in a butt plug is not something that the average person really is going around talking about.
But now we are. Here we are. We talk about it every day. Like it's always something. Okay, let me see my next super chat. So Shrinking Sharon, thank you very much, says, I'll be sure, and the petition has this book removed.
According to this guy, it wasn't so much the verbiage, it was Kim Porter being on the cover of it.
Right.
So he says he's going to release it again without Kim on the cover.
I don't know. He said it was Kim's face on it. Yeah, Kim's face on the cover. And I guess I'll be sure was mad about the fact that he was in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shrinking Sharon, thank you. This book is removed from Amazon, Barnes, and Noble. Yeah, it was removed from Amazon. I saw that. And Mississippi Girl, thank you very much for the super chat. He has already told the World Wide Web and given his name. So far as I'm concerned, He already snitched. So do the right thing and call the feds, hand over the tapes. Yeah, like it was just the fact that he thought that that was snitching at all. Like you equate that with being a snitch, and then this guy's trying to explain to him or even trying to reason with him and say, well, it's really not snitching, and you're like sugarcoating it, but just tell whatever you want to call it. Just do the right thing.
That was. I like. So you can acknowledge there's some child tapes, but where you draw the line is the gay tapes. I ain't gonna watch that. I ain't gonna do that.
Like watching those tapes were gonna make him gay all of it.
Did you watch the other ones? Like, I don't know. I don't know. A Mama's Love. The calamity that ensued behind the death of Biggie shook the East Coast. It rocked me as well. Sean could have stopped it. He was complicit in it. He was a contributor. He knew it was going to happen, and it didn't stop it. This was his friend. No, they were not nearly as close as Sean would have the public believe, but still. As far as Sean was concerned, we were great. To the public, we were just having the off and on relationship of a normal couple, and I probably just seemed like a money grab hoe. But the truth is, I just got so used to having not having a choice. Today, I recognized it for what it was, Stockholm Syndrome. I was at his beck and call and had become comfortable with it. Quincy had everything he could ever want, with the exceptions, of course, of a normal parental figure. That is why this chapter is so powerful for me, as a mother's love is so real. One night, I was out with my boyfriend. Yes, we were on again, and we were joined for dinner by none other than Miss Wallace. Sean looked over as security allowed Miss Wallace to approach the table and sit. Miss Wallace spoke with a smile. Hello, Sean. Hi, Kim. I smiled the best I could. What a situation. For all intents and purposes, she is sitting with her son's killer. I hope my voice didn't betray my feelings as I said, Hi, Miss Wallace. Sean smiled also as he said, Hello, Miss Wallace. What can I do for you? When I got your call, it sounded urgent. He was able to appear as if he was smiling warmly. This was the creepiest situation of my entire life. She looked at Sean with pleading eyes. I know this isn't your problem, but things have gotten kind of hard. I was hoping that you could have sent some of that money Chris made with you this way. So Biggie's mom is asking him for money. Sean said, that's not something I can just do. There are attorneys and accountants. Can I maybe help you out with a little something to get you past the hump? Sean reached into his pocket to dig for his wallet. I haven't even seen how much Chris left. It's going on 2 years. Just how long is this going to take? Sean sighed as he replied, These things are difficult, Miss Wallace. I don't know. The attorneys don't make this easy. Miss Wallace pushed further. I don't understand what's so difficult. He worked for you. He made his money. Where is it? Sean shook his head as if saddened by what he was saying as he continued. It's not like I can just give you his money. You're entitled to certain amounts, and they are just trying to figure out what that amount is. I don't mean to sound cruel, but it wouldn't be fair to me or just give you tons of money. You got rich off my son, and now you're keeping all of his money. Sean kept his cool as he replied, I'm afraid business isn't that cut and dry, Miss Wallace. I paid for publishing, publicity. I mean, in all actuality, if I'm going to be straightforward, Miss Wallace, Chris probably owed me money. I won't know until it's all worked out. The anger in Miss Wallace's voice barely overshadowed the pain, or perhaps it was magnified as she uttered the only word she could muster, You bastard. Sean didn't flinch. He just said, look at the contract. I'm honestly trying to get him as much as possible out of it, but I have investors. I can't just take money that doesn't belong to him and start giving it away. Miss Wallace exploded in response. You know good and well Chris didn't owe you a damn thing. Sean stared her straight in the eye and unwaveringly said, we would have started making a profit after a few years. His money until his album sales paid for studio time, music videos, publishing, and marketing would have come from doing shows. I'm sorry he isn't here to make that money. I miss him. Her response was deadpan. Did you kill my son? Momentarily, Sean was stunned into silence. She asked again, her voice quivering. Did you? He started. Miss Wallace. She would not be redirected. Answer the question. I was not used to seeing Sean on the defensive. No, of course not. She looked at him with spite, the anger in her voice enough to send shivers up my spine, as she replied with the menace only a mother can. I don't believe you, Sean. Sean looked at her with the sadness that I knew in my soul to be fake. Although looking at him without context, anyone would believe him as he replied, I'm sorry to hear that. Today, I know he was able to muster that false sincerity because he's a sociopath. Back then, I thought it was compassion. With no more words, Miss Wallace stood up and left. Sean watched her exit with disbelief. Not knowing what to do, I placed my order. Dinner that night was long and silent. I feared for Miss Wallace's life. Sean is the most dangerous when he feels threatened. No, she could have not physically threatened him, but this threat was very real. If she goes public with her accusation, Sean's image will be damaged. I have felt for myself the extent he will go through in order to protect that image. Now, where's Faith? Like, I would think that after 2 years, or I would think that there would be like an executor. Why wasn't this like a real business meeting?
I don't know. When it comes to all of this, it's hard for me to say like when I think something's real or not, because so much of it is beyond what I would have imagined to be real to begin with. So it's like, could this possibly have happened? I don't know. Yeah, it could have.
Anything is possible with Diddy now.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, 12. I think we can we reconvene? Do we have to finish this tonight?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
How much more do we have left?
We're on 12 and there is 18. There's 19.
Yeah, this is a good stopping point.
That last video kind of like, sometimes I get tired.
I know.
We got some more super chats.
Do I?
From Spiritual Gangster Miss Tanya.
Hold on.
Look at his book.
Hmm?
Kim Porter. There's another book that he was promoting.
Thank you, Spiritual Gangster Miss Tanya. So there was one more version released. This sounds sus. I don't know. One more book, like version of the book. Is that what you're looking up?
Yeah.
Is it the one that he was holding up, or is that the same one that you have?
Mm-hmm. No. This one is Kim's Lost Words, but he was, I guess, holding up the one that said "Tell It."
Okay. So is that the other version?
I don't technically. I'm telling you, I had a hard time. You know, I know my moniker is Make It Make Sense, but I was listening to him and I was really having like a hard time kind of like ascertaining what he meant. The sad part is there's so much going on with Diddy. He could very well just be telling the truth. Like there's so many different layers and angles with this that you would need like a full-time staff or a team to really go through and source all this stuff. And we know that this book wasn't sourced at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Do you want to close us out?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you guys for all the super chats. I'm super, super excited. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you guys for support, and definitely like and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with something not as deep and dark as that shit.
Bye-bye.
All right, have a good one.